Hi, my name is Michelle, and today I'll be walking you through a video orientation of our system. To start with, we're going to log in, and if you haven't bookmarked the login page, you can always use the login button on the main website. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. Enter your email address and your password, and click login. This video assumes that you've already installed Zoom, but if you haven't, don't worry, there are links down at the bottom. So to start with, after you log in, if you have any sessions scheduled already, you'll see them first. Then down here at the bottom, you always have these two options. New session now is if you want to schedule a session for right now. It uses today's date and the current time, whereas new scheduled session will let you pick a date and time into the future. Let's pick Wednesday at 9, and this always uses the time zone on your account. Once you click go, it's going to ask you for more information about your participant. It's a 2-character minimum for the name. As soon as you start typing, it's going to bring up a list of anyone you've invited before that matches what you're typing. You can see you have a couple of names here. If you don't have any contacts yet, you can just keep typing a new name and it'll save as a contact for next time. If you do have a contact that you select, any information you have saved for them will pre-populate, such as contact information for the invite and reminders. You can choose to send an email invite or a text message invite or no invite. I generally recommend email because people can access that on pretty much any device, whereas text message just goes to their phone. But it really goes according to whatever their preference is. For participant time zone, when you're creating a new contact, it defaults to your own time zone, but you can always change this before you hit save, and it'll change the time zone that's used in this person's invite. Show participant documents is a question that only appears if you're using our electronic documents function. For the purpose of showing how it works, I'm just going to choose a packet and get more into detail about how to set that up a little bit later. The same with requiring a payment. You can require a payment if you've connected a Stripe account to your SecureVideo account. And I can choose from one of the services that I've set up to charge for. This is the default payment amount I've created, but you can always change this for each person and each session. Once you hit save, that meeting gets created and the invite is sent out. You can see underneath this person's name is a 9-digit number. If I didn't send an invite through our system, I could just give them this 9-digit number. They can go to SecureVideo.com and click on Join a Session to use it. If I want to make this a group session, I would hit Add Participant. And the same thing, I just add another participant, select contact information for them. I can choose to set e-documents or requirement or payment requirement, and then I hit save, and that invite is sent out to them. Underneath each person's name is a waiting room status. Of course, not in waiting room is that they haven't joined yet, but in waiting room is that they have clicked to join. Edit is if you want to edit this person's information. It brings you back to this screen. If you do edit the contact information and click save, just make sure you also hit remind so it'll send a new invite to that new contact information. The system will tell you if one has been sent within the last half hour, but you can always override it to make sure it sends it to the new contact information. Remove is if you want to remove a single person from a group session without affecting anybody else. As soon as you confirm you want to remove them, they'll receive a cancellation notice, but nobody else will be affected. But if it's a one-on-one session, then the way to cancel it would be clicking on Manage and then Cancel. As soon as you confirm you want to cancel a session, it'll send out a cancellation notice to everybody and then delete the session from your dashboard. We also automatically clear old sessions from your dashboard every evening, so you don't have to do that manually. If you click on Manage, you can also choose to reschedule the session. It'll show you the current date and time it's scheduled for. Change either or both before you hit go. It'll send out a reschedule notification to everybody and then update the session on your dashboard. If you click Manage, you can also choose to click Schedule Next. This will create a copy of the current session for a week out at the same time, but you can change either or both before you hit go. And all it does is create a new session with the same people, but new access codes and same settings. You can also choose to assign documents to yourself if, say, you have a packet that you want to remember to complete, in which case, then you will also have the option to submit documents to yourself. Enter meeting is if you want to start the meeting once you see that they've entered the waiting room. Start chat is if you want to start a clinical chat. Clinical chat is a in-browser encrypted chat feature that we have. If you send any messages through clinical chat, then your participants receive notifications according to their preferences or the contact information we have for them. So this little cell phone means a text message. The chat retention is only 24 hours, so it's not meant for something like chat therapy, but it is good for sending notifications to someone that you want to show up on the waiting room page, or for them to get in contact with you if, say, they're running late. And it looks something like this on the other end. But let's log back in. You can also choose to add the session to an external calendar by clicking on Add to Calendar, Google, Yahoo, Outlook, or iCal. You can also choose to enable dial-in if you wanted someone to be able to call in via phone, or if, say, they didn't have a microphone and speakers on their computer. Down here at the bottom, you can always click Install Zoom if you need to install Zoom on a different device. And support, this is our little chat widget, and our support hours are weekdays from 6:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. With that, we've covered everything on our dashboard. Now just move into our features. Under this list are all the features that you can manage. My listings, if you want to create a listing in our public directory. Messages are where you would go if we notify you that you've received a message through that listing. E-documents is where you can go to view any documents that have been submitted to you. It's also where you can go to add documents. So you can see a few here in this demo account, but you can always create a new template in your account by clicking on New Template. By default, there aren't any in an account. To set up our documents, there are a number of different settings that you can have, and we also use a very simple markdown code. We link to the support article about how to use it up at the top, which goes over each individual setting as well as how you can make different types of fillable fields, make them required or different shaped, or set default selections. Even though it looks like this, when it's generated on the other side, it looks like this. So your participants can fill it out and then sign at the bottom and submit to you. When they do submit it to you, you receive a notification. You go to your account to view it, and once you click on View, you can see any information that has been submitted is underlined. And then down here at the bottom, you can also choose to add your signature to countersign. And you can see it's automatically tagged with the date and time and the security hash if we ever did need to look up the electronic audit trail for it, even if you download this as a PDF and store it in a hard copy. Also available as a feature is the BAA. As long as you have a paid plan, BAA isn't included with the trial account, but it'll be here accessible if you do choose to upgrade. Branding is where you'd go if you want to customize the look of your account. You can see here we've uploaded a different logo and set different colors. You can easily upload a file here, set different company name and the custom subdomain here. You can customize a fair number of colors. If you're not sure what any of those are, you can click on this button that says Learn More. It takes you straight to the support article that breaks down each setting, as well as where all these colors appear and what we mean by them. Under Features, you can also access the Get Paid Online page. So this is where you can go to connect a Stripe account to your SecureVideo account. If you don't have a Stripe account, the Use Stripe button will take you to a page where you can create one, or you can log in and authorize SecureVideo to make payments on your behalf. We do also allow you to add a PayPal button or authorize.net button to your waiting room page, but unfortunately with these two methods, we cannot enable the feature where you can require payment before someone enters a session. Custom links are where you'd go if you want to create a custom button that shows up on your waiting room page. Recordings in the API are premium features. If you would like to know more about these, feel free to contact us at support@SecureVideo.com. If you click on this little head and shoulders icon and then your name, this is where you can go to change any basic user information, as well as change your password if you'd like to. Appointment slots is where you'd go if you wanted to add appointment slots to a public calendar. And if so, please contact us to set up a calendar for you. It's not an additional fee, but it does require staff to create it. Calendars if you want to view your upcoming sessions in calendar format. Account billing is where you'd go for a snapshot of your billing information, as well as like your projected invoice, or if you want to reference your pricing, or if you want to view past invoices. If you click on this little head and shoulders icon, and then account options, this is where you can go if you want to change different types of options on your account, such as scheduling, just different aspects of the account, or yeah. Feel free to check these out. My contacts is where you'd go if you want to view any contacts that you've created and saved. You can edit contacts from here, including editing their name. You can delete them. You can also create new ones or favorite contacts so that they always float to the top. Reports are where you'd go if you want to view different usage reports. So session usage is your session history. Options is if you want to see any different options that you've used, different from the default. Logins is a history of your logins on your account. Queues has to do with requests from a public calendar if you have that set up. And geolocation is our approximation of where a person was when they connected to a session with you. If you do look at the session usage report, it auto-populates for the last 2 months. By default, it looks for connected sessions, but you can choose to look for non-connected sessions if you'd like. Say if you want to look up no-shows. But by default, if it shows you a connected session, it shows you the connection time, as well as approximately how long the session was and who you met with. Feel free to change the date range or any of these aspects, and then click Filter to search again, and you can download any of this as an Excel spreadsheet as well. $30 account credit, this is our social media promotions if you want to check those out. Account users is where you can go if you want to add any users to your account. It's also where you can go to view the contact information of anyone who's registered for an account under you through like a public calendar. Account groups, don't need to mess with, but if you do have a public calendar, you can always reference your customized booking page here. Account services is where you'd go if you wanted to add or edit services on your public calendar, or ones to require payment if you have a Stripe account connected. To create a service, you just say what's the name of the service, describe it as you want it to appear to the client, is there a default payment amount, and the scheduling duration, which just gives someone the approximate idea of how long it will take. This is mostly used for the add to calendar function. It determines how long that session will show up on that calendar, as well as how far apart slots are if you did have a public calendar with us. Last is the ability to log off from here, although we do time out the account after 4 hours of inactivity. And I also want to point out the support tab, where you can always reference our getting started guide, as well as our email address or our phone number. Your participants are also welcome to give us a call if they have any questions about installing or joining a session. But we do also have very detailed support articles about how to do a lot of things in the system. And we're a big fan of screen caps to make sure that people get the right idea. And yeah, that's it. Please do let us know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.